Hello, this is the third video in this training program on how to get your first job out of college. Now, this step is as important as the others, but the key here is this is after graduation. If, for example, you've completed college and you're currently looking for a job, was your first experience in college, and maybe it was a career change, or it's going to be your first career, and you've graduated and you didn't go through the steps that I mentioned earlier, which is starting with the end in mind, making the most out of school, but you are now after graduation and you're thinking to yourself, well, I missed the first two steps, so what do I do now? Here's what you do. Number one, engage in a passion project. What is a passion project? A passion project could be going out to volunteer into your church or whatever group that you belong to on a regular basis. Anything that you do that you find fulfillment in, even if it's not necessarily related to your field of practice or your field of study, is a passion project that you can dive into and keep as busy and engaged as possible before you come across that golden opportunity of your first job out of college. That was number one. Find a passion project and keep busy until you come across that opportunity. Number two, work on your online presence. Now, this applies to people who have an active social media life. If you don't have a social media life or an online presence, that's okay. But even if you don't, I recommend you put up at least a LinkedIn profile and you register a domain name and have at least a resume page there or a professional photo of you. Also, make sure that whatever photos of you that are online, whatever we call it, your social media footprint or your online presence footprint, whatever people come across when they search for you online, you have to make sure that you are happy with what people are going to be exposed to when they search for you, because everybody Googles everybody, especially when they're about to hire you to join the organization, or if they are to consider you for employment, you're going to be Googled. So you might as well make sure that whatever shows up in your online search result when people search for you are things that you are proud of, that you're happy with. If you had a very busy college life in activities not too much related to academics and what you want to do with your career and end of life, you might want to take time to clean that up. Number three, pull in versus push in. The pull in versus the push in is when you look at your network, the people that you know, your current contacts, and tell them, hey, if you know any organization that is recruiting, I just finished with college or with my formal education, this is what I can do. Is there any way they could pull me in? That way you get called in from within as opposed to trying to push your way into the door. I read an article that says more than 80% of job opportunities available out there are filled through referrals, meaning someone on the inside who knows someone on the outside who needs a job, and they just refer the person for the person to be hired. And it's 100 times easier to be pulled in than to push in. I've actually had that experience myself. It's a lot easier to have someone draw you closer to them than for you to try to push yourself and impose yourself onto the person. That's pull in versus push in. Now, that concludes the video program, and we're now going to go over and have a concluding video.